and Northcote City. We'll go through the starting lineup shortly. As the both teams go in and do the coin toss, the Moreland Zebras will be kicking to the Jeep Landtrack end of the ground in what is to be an anticipated match tonight between the second placed East Conference Northcote City and the third placed West Conference Moreland Zebras. Northcote City will get us underway as we're just waiting for the linesmen to make their way into position. Joining me tonight in the box, my fellow commentator who's just joined us from the President's Dinner, Mr. Joseph Sala. Joe, welcome to the broadcast.
Yeah, thank you, Dominic. Bit of a hectic evening, but the dinner went well, so we'd like to go here. Big important game for the Zebras.
As Northcote gets us underway here, as we mentioned, Zebras kicking to the Jeep Landtrack side of the ground. There's the ball now in the Zebras defensive half. It is number 15, Anthony Risk, there with it, but big Nick Niagoran comes in, puts a foot through, and it goes out for the first throw-in of the game.
Hope you're enjoying the images coming through. I believe they're crystal clear for those watching on Zebras TV.
They are, Joe, definitely. New equipment being supplied here in the commentary box, so we hope that everyone listening at home is enjoying the telecast so far as Zebras make their way forward. Long clearance down the ground. Into the path there, Simeoi for the Zebras, trying to win the ball back, but got two players to beat. Calling for a free kick, nothing doing. Niagoran hits the ground, but play on. Ball spills loose into the middle of the park. Timmins with it. Sends it to Sadler. Sadler over the top, looking for the run of Niagoran. He's looking for the offside flag. Linesman keeps it down. Still play. Niagoran with it now, deep into the Zebras' attacking half. Tries to get around him and it trickles over for a corner. First corner of the game for the Zebras.
I want to get a good start tonight, Dominic. Moreland Zebras, we need to take the game and we need the points.
Definitely, Joe. As
don't we look resplendent in our new pink socks?
We do, Joe, yes. As we mentioned to our listeners a little bit earlier, for breast cancer awareness, all the Zebras...
years, Dominic, that the Zebras have altered the black and white.
And for a good cause as well, Joe. Definitely a very good cause that they're wearing the pink sock. As the corner comes in off the head of Timmins, spills to Niagoran, turns into the box, still on it with Niagoran, goes for the cross through, goes off the head of one of the Zebras players, comes through, and it's in! Yes! It's a goal! And it's Liam Canal who's claiming it. Yep, Liam Canal has scored the goal for the Zebras. Nice and early here at CB Smith Reserve. It's the Moreland Zebras 1, Northcote City 0. Fantastic build-up of play there from the Zebras.
Goal Moreland Zebras. Goal Moreland Zebras. Goal scorer number 8, Liam Canal.
Fantastic start here. The start that the Zebras wanted. So first corner of the game, attacking one, came off the head of Timmins, and then Niagoran picking up the second ball. Managing to make something out of nothing. Had three players to beat, which he did, and then managed to get that ball into that dangerous area in that 6-yard box. And you can see the 6-yard box from here, Joe. There was a bit of water in there before. And
nice header across the box by number 10, Tommy Barfarosh, to enable that goal.
Set it up, and yeah, Canal getting onto the end of that one.
Spirited start by Zebras tonight.
As Niagoran getting involved early, Niagoran is. So gets a header on, trickles over, finds... Petrovsky now, ex-Zebras player, Petrovsky, Joe?
Yes, yes.
He comes in now, looking spotting a free kick there for the Zebras, front of the technical area.
Obvious missed.
It's amazing how that went from two extremes, didn't it, Joe?
Yeah. Never mind. long as it all gets corrected in the end.
So Northcote with the goal kick. Petrovsky with it now. As you can see some of the Zebras kids running around the ground here. It's a cold night here in wonderful Moreland, but decent crowds turned out. Grandstand filling up pretty quickly, which is great to see on a wet and windy day here in Melbourne today. So long ball from Petrovsky comes out over the top of 2 or 3 players there. Now Tremaine Sadler comes in, wins a header, goes forward, knocked off at Simioi, but nothing doing, says the referee. Play on, throw in taken by Northcote. Now coming through, still with possession, Northcote. Builds up the 1-2 play. Now goes into the 18-yard box, turns, he's in there now, takes a shot, but it's just wide of the bar. And it goes out for a Zebras goal kick. Hope everyone is enjoying the images coming through today. Zebras would like to thank all their major sponsors for season 2019. Crocams, Metal Form Group, Degani Coburg, Nemcon Pools, Keilor Collision Centre, Essendon Jeep, Mirabella, Barry Plant. As long ball comes over the top, Niagara into space, takes a shot Niagara, but it's off the keeper. So from the goal kick there, pretty much went coast to coast there, the Zebras. Still a bit of water on the ground and the ball skidding on a little bit, and Zebras just finding their feet a little bit better than Northcote at the moment, and Niagara in there for a great chance to try and double the Zebras lead, but out for another corner, second corner of the game for the Zebras. Long one comes in, finds the head of Liam Canal. It's on the line, and it's cleared off the line. It hit the post, came off the post there. The shot from the defend. It's an offside call there now, but another close one there from 2 corners now. The Zebras almost scoring 2 goals. I think the referee's picked. No, it's not offside. It's a free kick there. So Williams for the Zebras to take the free kick. Another close chance there for the Zebras. Couldn't quite get who the player was that got it. May have been Papadimitriou, I think. No, not the Papadimitriou. May have been, I think.
Whoever it was, he'd be very disappointed he didn't put the Zebras 2 up. A little bit of early dominance here is
just
exactly
looking very dangerous from the corners, aren't they, Joe? From 2 corners, nearly scored the 2 goals. So
there's that little bit of a desperation to actually make contact with the ball, Dominic, is actually leading to some good chances for us. Here we go again. Williams standing over the ball. Decides to take a shot. That was Cannell. Apologies.
Watley now with it. Now comes out wide.
The big man did well. Still staying up.
Timmins all the way back to Devitt. Devitt then switches across.
The ball, Dominic, I can see.
Yep, they are at the moment, Joe. I think they're a bit rattled there. As the offside flag goes up there on Timmins, making a early run forward. The left back there for the Zebras. We just want to thank all our listeners watching around on Facebook and also on Zebras TV on TMAP. So welcome to everyone watching. As ball tries to come out of there now, but Zebras with possession. Here comes Watley. Tries to find the feet of Canal. Can't find him, but Northcote turn it over. It's another Zebras throw in halfway line. Minutes in here. It's a Moreland Zebras 1, Northcote City 0. As Luke Devitt tries to link up there with Papadimitriou. Comes off another Northcote player and goes out for another Zebras throw-in. Ball comes in now. Tried to work it out to Zebras. Nearly turned over, but still kept possession. Brilliantly done. Devitt, 1-2 there, linking up with Canal over the top. Long one. Barfarosh running on to the end of this one. Can he keep it in? Only just, and manages to get a throw in out. Keeps it out for a throw in. So Northcote throwing deep in the defensive half. Zebras doing all the attacking early here, Joe.
Good positive start, Dominic. Yes, we seem to be switched on tonight. The ground's held up despite the rain. The wind's died down a little bit, so perfect conditions to play football.
As the throw in goes there off another Zebras head and goes out for another Northcote throw in. So Northcote with the ball now.
Bit of a crowd in tonight, Dominic. The pre-game dinner went well, and a lot of the sponsors and paid-up members are coming into the VIP box.
What was on the menu tonight there, Joe? The President's dinner.
Yes, it went quite well.
What was on the menu, mate?
What was on the menu? We had lasagna and some antipasto.
I can see we've got one of our followers, Robert Bisquetta, that's probably interested in knowing what we actually had in the menu. So, Rob,
Yes.
if you're still listening, mate.
Some prosciutto and ham. Rob was all there. Plenty of fresh
Fabrice
leek,
small goods as
tomatoes,
well.
Small goods.
As throwing comes in now for Northcote. Still in possession with it.
And well
Trying to look
supported by our Northcote counterparts too, who booked a table of 10. So a good evening was had by all.
As
Let's hope we can get the job done to make it a perfect day for the black and whites.
exactly, Joe, definitely.
And the pink feet today.
That's the pink socks for breast cancer awareness. As Northcote now looking to build an attack forward. Only cut off there by Timmins, I think it was. Yes, Timmins. Ball coming out now. Still with it, Northcote. Still in possession.
Now.
Linking up 1-2. Zebra's getting numbers back though. Not giving them the easy option through. Now it comes out and easily there taken. Trickles over the line for another Zebra's goal kick.
Yeah, that early flurry for 5 or 6 minutes. Northcote a little bit at 6s and 7s, but settling down as we speak, and a bit more possession football there.
Fraser now with the goal kick. Here we go. Long kick over the down there along the ground into the path of Barfarosh. Wasn't on his toes though. Doesn't alert for that one. Second one from Fraser, and it goes out again in that corner for another throw-in. A lot of the play being had here in the front right attacking corner here for the Zebras.
Looks like a Northcote throw, is it?
It is a Northcote throw, yes. So long one over the top, off the head of Simioi, who now plays it into the part of Devitt. Devitt bounces around, still with it, Barfarosh. Now Devitt trying to link up with Simioi. Simioi does, kicks it, comes off one of the Northcote players' faces there, Joe. And it's already
He's looking to get
was two away there.
Young Nick.
Here we go, long ball comes in now. Jacob Williams with it. Finds Timmins. Timmins with Canal, the goal scorer. Tries to link up, but it's cut off by Northcote. Still in possession. Middle of the park. Canal brings it down. Devitt gets a flick on. Still in possession. Devitt out wide. Still in possession. Devitt with it. Nope. And then gets turned over. Northcote now mounting another attack. Going forward. Through there, number 12 into the 18-yard box, but
Well
Williams
read
cuts
by-
it off there.
Well read by Williams. Nice cut ball, but Williams has read it and he's come out the left-hand flank. Give it away, a free kick there. A little bit too tenacious from Cannell. And the midfield hard man for the Zebras takes his punishment. Free kick against.
There's,
No card. There's a bit of
referees.
chatter from the box there, so referee's just making sure that he's the only one in charge, which is justifiably his right.
He's going across. He's giving a yellow card there to Timmins, I think it is. Not
Must
sure
have
what
been
that
on-
was. Must have
didn't
been a
actually see
previous.
that. He lost his shin pad, so he's retrieved that. I'm not
Yeah.
quite sure what that was for, Dominic, but
No.
nonetheless.
Game plays on now. As Northcote, middle of the park with it now. Now coming forward. Sawari with it on the edge of the box there now. Referee's given a free kick handball on the edge of the box. That was number 9 in James Wilson, who made the attack through. Simua there remonstrating it was accidental, but
They take it early.
doesn't pay off for him. No, Zebras managed to get it out, and they do. Hits a touchline. Another throw in for Northcote. 14.5 minutes gone here. It's Moreland Zebras 1, Northcote City 0. As they're still struggling to get out of it in Northcote. In possession now. Zebras with the ball. Near Goran. Does well. Manages to fend off 2. Now goes in the middle, but turns it over.
Actually turns it over.
I think it was a little bit of a commentator's curse there, I think, Joe. As he sends it down the line. Barfarosh in line with the defender. Trying to get onto it. Had his body pulled there. Referee sent a free kick. Yeah, Barfarosh unfortunately grabbed onto his arm and
Just a bit of shirt holding.
free kick taken quickly now by Northcote. Looking down the line, trying to find the options through, but Williams cuts it off. Can't find a teammate though. Northcote still in possession. And then it goes. Turnover.
Watley solid at the back there. Intercept.
Long one
little
over the
ball
top.
here.
Papa
Northcote
Dimitri
had
trying to
to
get
deal
onto
with
it. He's still in there. Papa Dimitri putting the pressure on. Referee's going to pull that one. No.
Nothing doing.
Play on, referee calls. Had his whistle in his mouth and didn't call it. Ball comes into the middle of the park now. As Devitt pushed off it a little bit there, I think he was, but it's come off a Northcote player in the end, and it goes out for another Zebras throw-in.
Just a final ball from Papadimitri across the box, exactly what the doctor ordered.
Number 15 there for Northcote. Risk is there demonstrating about the foul, but referee said he got all the ball, so called play on.
I think the boy just went down a bit too early.
As Simioi here now with the throw-in for the Zebras. Looking for options in the box. Goes a long one, gets it in there. Looking for the head there of Barfarosh. Can't find him, no. Ball comes out. It's cleared, but only as far as Watley, who goes first time, looking for the run of Papadimitri. Can't find him. Turned over in the middle of the park now. Northcote through Wilson. Wilson goes out wide, comes off a Zebras player and goes out for another throw-in. Still in possession, Northcote now building a play forward, but it's turned over once again. Devitt now finds Williams. Williams now trying to turn out of it. Still with it, Williams. Pressure all over the place, but still manages to get his boot on the ball. Tries to find the run of Barfarosh, but can't. Turned over. Northcote still in possession now. Boglis goes forward. Still in possession now. Athanasiou
forced him all the way back. Good play by the big centre half.
Northcote still in possession. Now goes through into the 18-yard box, but it's easily picked up there by Fraser, the Zebras goalkeeper.
Yeah, big hello from Joel Nikolic for Liam Cannell. He's a regular scorer for the Zebras, is Liam. So I'm sure Joel's going to be pleased about that. And bragging rights at the next get-together.
As Cannell now, Devitt in the middle of the park trying to win the ball back. Can't. Northcote retreat back. Still in possession with it, Northcote, but only as far as Cannell, the goal scorer there for the Zebras. Holds it. See the options forward. Now going down the line. Looking for the run there of Papadimitri, but I don't think he was alert on that one and couldn't pick that one there up. Ball comes through. So Petrovsky now for the visitors take the goal kick. Zebras doing all the attacking early here in this first half. Calls his players to push down further down. Still with it. Just waiting for Petrovsky to get the kick out. Goes long. Looking for the header there of the teammate, but only one there by the Zebras. Still in possession, Northcote though. Ball spills out wide. Still in it. Cannell goes in hard. Free kick given against there by the Zebras midfielder. Quick one over the top taken, but Fraser easily picking that one there up for the Zebras. So Fraser goes a short option. Finds Sadler. Closed down early. Still with it, Fraser. Pressure, so goes long. Looking for the head of Barfarosh. Flicks off him. Near Goran looking for the run. Still in possession of Zebras, but referee's found a free kick there. He's going to call Barfarosh across and just give him a little bit of a warning there. Still asking him to go across. Wants to have a little bit of a chat to him. Don't think we'll get a yellow, but referee will definitely give him a warning for that one. As Northcote now, Parson Collins takes a quick free kick. Goes across to his teammate in Carvallis, looking for the long ball through the middle. Cut down, still in possession in their own half, Northcote. Looking for the options forward. Zebras doing well, manning up, closing off the easy options. Still with it in possession, Northcote. Parson Collins now goes over the top, looking for the run there. Zebras everywhere underneath that, and Williams manages to bring it down. Had three players around him. Called for the free kick. Referee called play on. Still in possession, Northcote. Comes out wide. Boglis with it. Switches into the middle of the park. Now finds Jordan Ross. Ross with possession. Back to his teammate. Tries to take the shot. Devitt on the end of that one. Closing it down. Cannell with the header. Brings it down to Devitt. Now out wide to Papadimitri, who links up with Timmins. Timmins looking for the run of near Goran, and it's cleared out there by the Northcote defender for another throw. Quick one taken by the Zebras. Still in possession. Papadimitri now. Turns it over. Free kick there in the middle, and looks like there's another turnover there, and Northcote players remonstrating there. It was Timmins, I think it was, that gave away the free kick on that occasion. So in the centre of the park there for the Zebras. Northcote. Ball gets switched across now. Parson Collins with the ball. Now goes through the middle of the park. Finds a teammate. Northcote building up a little bit better now. Putting a few passes together. Long one over the top into a little bit of space. Looking for the option forward. Now into the middle. Couple of 1-2 balls there. Still Northcote with that possession. Now looking to get a cross in. Players everywhere. 2 Zebras players close it down, and it's Tremaine Sadler who gets the last touch and trickles over the line for another Zebras Northcote throw-in. Deep in the Zebras defensive half. We're 21 minutes in. It's the Moreland Zebras 1, Northcote City 0, as it goes out for another Northcote throw-in.
Just right in front of the Crocam sign, Dominic.
It is, Joe, yes. So thank you once again to all the major sponsors for the Moreland Zebras in season 2019. As the throw-in there taken by Northcote, still in possession. Just putting together a little bit of a few possession passes there now. Switched over the top. Fraser gets on the end of it. It's headed out and cleared there by...
Cleared off the line by Watley, but
Watley, yes.
Fraser's made a big save there to keep Zebras from being on par again.
Don't think the Zebras were expecting that cross to come in, and on a back post, Simuoi trying to get to it, but Northcote player there squaring it back across, and Fraser managing or having to pull off a save there.
Northcote just settled a bit, Dominic, the last 5 minutes after that blazing start by Moreland.
They definitely have, Joe, as the cross comes in again now. Header comes off it was a Northcote player that may have came out last. Yep, it is. Northcote players remonstrating with the referee, but nothing doing. It's a Zebras throw-in.
Hope you're enjoying the pictures on live on YouTube and Zebras TV. Today's game brought to you by Essendon Jeep and Landtrack Environmental. There's a big watcher over from South Africa as well. Charmaine Devitt, if you're watching, young Luke's having a sterling game thus far. Yes, I agree with you. Go Zebras.
There's another throw in there. Bounces over the official, Neno Mariani, there on the sidelines, Joe.
Oh, yes, well, he's a jack of all trades, is young Neno, for us.
Out there now, another Northcote throw-in. Ball gets taken in the middle of the park there. A couple of Zebras there, but Northcote with possession. Then Williams comes through, wins the ball back. Still in possession in the middle. Northcote trying to settle things down.
We're just letting him have it a little bit too easy, Dominic, for my liking.
I think in that middle there, yeah, the last few minutes, Joe, it has been sort of Northcote building those passes together. As it comes out now. Still in possession, Northcote. Happy to hold it in their defensive half. Now trying to turn it to middle. 2 Zebras closing it down. Williams and Canal. Still with it, Northcote. Trying to cut it off. Nope, still in possession. Now coming out. All the way back to Carvalis.
It's okay if they're keeping it in their half, but too
Carvalis
much for my liking.
To Nelson, and Nelson unfortunately couldn't find his teammate out wide there. And it trickles over the line for a Zebras throw-in. So Zebras just going to get a little bit more possession at the moment and just get this game back under control after a quick fire start, scoring in the 3rd minute of the game. Goal scorer Liam Canal. As the ball gets thrown back in. Now spills out into the path of Sawari. Sawari now going forward. Brilliant tackle there. Had to be made by Sadler. Does. Wins it back. Still in possession, Sadler, and trickles over the line for another Northcote throw-in. So strong defensive tackle there from Tremaine Sadler. Needed to win the ball in that area of the ground. And did just that as trickles over for another Northcote corner. And number 4, Adrian Boglis going across there to take the corner. Corner gets swung in. It's up in the air, and Fraser claims that one there easily for the Zebras. Took a little bit of a dive there. Oh, he got tackled as he had the ball. Referee not giving a card. You can see it as he's running out with it. Number 6, I think it was, for Northcote. Leo Thanasu, who just checked Fraser. So, free kick taken.
Big
goes long.
To some former Zebras players watching from elsewhere tonight. young Lucas Rufino. Might be going well.
As the ball now comes out. Still in possession, Northcote. Simeoi does well, brilliantly turned it over. Devitt now in possession, turns, goes back in, finds Williams. Williams with it, takes a couple of touches. Now turns, finds Canal, first time through, flick to Barfarosh, who tried to lick up with Canal. It's come off a few players there, but referee calls play on. Williams now, still in possession. Now goes over the top. I'd say the flag goes up, and it will go up against Papa Dimitru. Referee calls play on, gives the ball to Petrovsky.
There, young James. That final ball, not exactly what we're looking for, but the interpass was good.
Turned over, saw the link-up play there. Was Papa Dimitru looking for the feet of Barfarosh, but unfortunately overcooked the pass. And easily picked up there by Petrovsky, the Northcote goalkeeper. Long one over the top there now. Sadler underneath it. Uncontested header. Now it's up in the air. Williams up for the Zebras. Wins it. Goes forward. Still in possession. Just playing a little bit of Devitt. Try to find the end of it. Can't get it though. Brilliant ball through. Finds Papa Dimitru. It was Williams on the end of that. Papa Dimitru into the box now. Looking for the run. Oh, Nicky Niegorin made the run forward, but the pass was behind him, unfortunately.
Nick Niegorin's run was perfect. Tommy Barfarosh was the one sluggish in order to get in front of the defender. That was a tap in for Tommy, who's been in red hot form in the last few weeks, but just short of develop for that one.
So Zebras still at the throw-in. Long one looking for Niegorin. Northcote able to get it. Not out yet. Still with it. Simeoi now gets in the end of that one. Tries to find a feet of Barfarosh. He looks a little bit, like you said, Joe's
just off the pace
a little bit flat-footed, isn't he, at the moment?
Simeoi must rush back here, the free man, and he'll stay on side. He does now. 2 against 1 in the middle there. If the ball comes in, it has cut off by Watley. Sterling job. Niegorin taps it wide.
Looking for the run of...
Will deal with it and put it out. More like ball and Zebras going forward. That's that last final pass, Dominic, not what we're looking for. Just stymied a little bit of flow from Northcote at this stage.
So throw-in comes in, finds Niegorin, trying to find Papa Dimitru again, but it's cut off. Northcote win possession. Still can't get it out though, and retreat all the way back to a little bit of unsurety there. That manages to turn out there now. And it's Carvallis goes long one over the park there, but cut off by the Zebras defenders. Devitt now trying to win the ball back for the Zebras, can't. Thanasu comes through now. Long one, and it's gone over the line for another Zebras throw-in.
Yeah, keen to get out of trouble here, buy some space. Moreland looking to press.
So Canal trying to link up there with Papa Dimitru, but overcooks a pass. Ball still in dispute in the middle of the park. Brought down Sadler, first time kick forward. Trying to find Niegorin. Can't get him. Still in the middle of the park. Brilliantly done there by Canal.
Style's changed somewhat today, this week, Dominic. The ground might have something to do with it. Maybe the coach has given instructions to put the ball in dangerous areas. It's going to skid, it's going to move, it's going to stop.
The Zebras have looked dangerous though when they're doing those cross balls in the middle, Joe, especially Papa Dimitru that runs out wide. The last opportunity that we had there, brilliant pass from Jacob Williams here in the middle of the park.
Sadler.
Long one. Goes all the way out and it clears the Northcote bench. Out for another throw-in. Still in possession, Northcote.
Stay tuned at half time. We've got some special guests coming up with a bit of general chit-chat, maybe speaking about the election. We have current Moreland City Councillor, Sports Recreation Councillor, Oscar Yildiz, for a few minutes. See what his prediction is for the upcoming federal election.
As ball comes in the middle park, but Fraser cuts that one there off for the Zebras. So Fraser.
Zebras leaning neither left or right, Dominic, this year. For the election, so we'll just wait and see.
Long one over the top there now. Niegorin running to there, but it's still into Niegorin. Gets a touch, flicks it over the top. Niegorin, just wide. Another brilliant chance. It's a second time there now, Joe. It's come from Fraser in the back, who's set up Niegorin up front, and unfortunately Zebras come close once again to doubling that lead and just can't get that final shot on target.
Right, you are. Northcote at 6s and 7s in trying to deal with that ball.
Flick comes through now in the middle of the park. Simeoi finds Williams. Williams now in possession. Goes through, looking for the pass. Finds Barfarosh. Barfarosh pushed off it. Referee calls play on.
Went too early.
Now trying to turn through. Northcote still in possession. Nope, turned over. Zebras win it. Simeoi goes a quick one over the top. Papadimitra getting behind it. He is behind it there, Papadimitra, but it's a header off the Northcote defender in Carvalis, who finds his goalkeeper in Petrovski there. Quick one comes out. Still in the middle of the park. Northcote trying to put the 1-2 pass together, but Timmins, comes out there and puts the ball out of play for another Northcote throw-in. So Northcote takes a throw-in, quick one into the middle of the park. Looking for the options forward now. Still in possession. Takes a couple of touches, goes a long one over the top, but Sadler cuts that one there off. Into the middle of the park still. Northcote still in possession. Try the 1-2 flick there. And Sadler able to clean that one there up. Comes off a Northcote player, wins his throw in for the Zebras. Brilliantly done there by Tremaine Sadler. Tremaine's had a fair few solid performances over the last few weeks, Joe.
Yes, he slotted seamlessly from that left back role to the left side of the centre half position, and he's done a sterling job so far. He's quite nimble and very, very quick for his size. On the 31-minute mark, Moreland Zebras 1 and Northcote City yet to trouble the scorer. As Nagorian wins the battle in the middle and does so.
Yep, referee's found a free kick. Centre of the park. It's a different Moreland Zebras team when you've got big Nick Nagorian up front, isn't it, Joe?
Yeah, it always draws plenty of attention, allowing the rest of the players to make some space around him, and the big man always puts himself forward. Great
to see him back in the park this year for the Moreland Zebras as Williams goes out wide to Simeoi. Difficult one to control, and unfortunately couldn't control it. Sort of bobbled up for him when it hit the turf there. There was a little bit of water in that section of the ground before kick-off, so...
you're making excuses for him then.
Oh, yeah, mate, definitely.
Shades in his brother Simon there.
Northcote now.
Mirabella medalist at the age of 19 from the black and white before he's moved to Melbourne City. Glad to have him back.
Northcote going forward now. Timmins trying to get the header on. Can't win it though for the Zebras. Still in possession. Northcote coming through now. Oh, it's cut off brilliantly there by Tremaine Sadler, that man again. Middle of the park now.
Looking threatening here, Northcote.
Comes out wide. Wilson now. Wilson got Simeoi to beat. Gets around him, but I think he's run out of real estate there. He has, and it's gone out for a Zebras goal kick. Interesting to see how this goal kick goes, Joe. The last two that Fraser's taken has given us a goal scoring opportunity there.
Well, I'm not quite sure why you wouldn't sit on a day like this. Sit back a little bit, because you certainly don't want to be too high.
So
Northcote's misfortune could prove again to be the Zebras' blessing. Tactics on grounds like this where nice and wet and slippery sort of come second nature to effort, Dominic.
So Papadimitra pushing out wide. Fraser going long, looking for that ball there of Nagorian, but finds a Northcote player on that occasion. As Watley goes to go forward there. Devitt underneath it. Now one down by Jacob Williams. Out wide to Devitt. Devitt now finds Barfarosh. Barfarosh. He's got one to beat there. Puts it onto his left.
He does so. He's going to look inside to Nicky Simeoi. Simeoi again. Oh, Zebra's nice interplay.
Oh, I don't think Simeoi was expecting it on that occasion there, but still going through.
The last pass just off. 5 touches there to make a little space, but the last one didn't come off.
As Simeoi just adjusting his socks there. No injury concerns there. We'll come up and take the throw-in.
Pink sock day for Moreland Zebras right throughout the 30-plus teams. Everyone will be wearing the pink socks in support of the Anti-Cancer Council Mother's Day appeal.
As ball gets sent up there, Canal on the end of it. Can't win it down. Boggles off a Zebras player. Nagorian now tried to link up with... brilliantly done by Nagorian. Unfortunately, couldn't put it into the path of a teammate. Gets turned over. Northcote come out with it now. Turning into the middle. Now the long one over the top, and Fraser easily picking that one there up for the Zebras once again.
I can't say I'm a big fan of the look away pass, Dominic.
No, definitely not, Joe.
From Nick there, probably not the percentage football that we needed.
So Timmins retreats back, finds Williams. Williams having a bit of the ball early in this game. Now finds Canal, the goal scorer. Tries to link up with Papadimitra. Weren't on the same page, unfortunately, and it gets turned over once again.
He's made that role his own, Jacob Williams, since moving from centre half to the holding role.
Turned over. Williams with it now. Looking for his options forward. Finds Canal. Canal out wide. Brilliantly through, but unfortunately Papademetro found, in the offside position there. As Barfrosh does well to slot that one there in, but unfortunately it won't count.
That must have been young James, was it?
It was James Papademetro who was caught offside there, unfortunately.
There's that lure of your eyes glued to the ball without looking at where you're actually at, especially if you got line of the player. So there's no excuse for that.
So Petrovsky going to fake the short one, doesn't. Now going long. Sends it. Looking for a teammate forward there. Sadler getting underneath it. Found the hands in the back. Yep. Can't argue with that one, I don't think. Referee finds the foul there.
While we wait for that ball to be taken, young James Papademetro gets engaged tomorrow. He's on strict instructions not to break his nose again.
Okay, coming off. So Northcote still in possession now. Retreating back. Zebras closing, not giving them the easy option. Ball trickles over the line. Brilliant pressure there off the ball from the Zebras. Quick throw in taken. Papademetro now trying to bring the ball down. Can't. Devitt. Still with it, Devitt. Tries to get past one, but can't. And trickles over the line for another Zebras throw in. That's Timmins. Takes a quick throw. Looking for the run of Devitt. Can't get onto him. Northcote try and clear that one there out. And clear it out they do. It goes out for another Zebras throw in.
Rather agricultural there. Just keen to get the ball out of the danger zone.
Long one comes in now, near Goran.
Zebras will look to move this, arc this ball out of there.
Canal goes down the line. Find Papademetro, then links up there. Brilliantly done by the Zebras. Devitt now. Still with it, Devitt. Comes off a Northcote player. No, off a Zebras player last. It's another throw-in. Scoreboard side of the ground there in front of the Degani Coburg sign. Another proud sponsor of the Moreland Zebras in 2019.
Indeed. Some of the best coffee you'll find in Coburg.
As Northcote try and clear that ball out, not convincingly at the moment. Ball comes through Timmins, went for the header. I think it came off his chest in the end. Zebras still with possession. Now Sadler tries a long one over the top, a little bit too predictable there, and near Goran.
Better off coming wide with the ball like that if we're going to flick it into space.
As Northcote now going the shorter option out. They're going to try and pass their way out of their back line here now, Joe. I think the long ball, they've worked out that the Zebras will cut that off pretty easily. Petrovsky.
We're going pretty well with the press, so here it comes long.
Long one over the top. Simua gets underneath it, wins a header forward, but only to the path of a Northcote player. Still in possession, Northcote. Brilliantly tackled there by Barfrosh. Still in possession, Northcote though. Number 9 in Wilson. Goes to turn. Still with it, Wilson. Gets a cross in. Sadler on the end of that one. Sends it forward. Near Goran. Goes to chest it into the path of Papademetro. Still with it, near Goran. Referee calls play on. Nope. Brings a free kick back there.
I thought he was going to let the ball run because they had possession.
They did have possession.
But they still had possession. So, good refereeing. Sorry about that.
As long one comes through there now. Still in possession. Northcote, middle of the park. Number 18, Jordan Ross. Looking to link up. Finds a teammate in Nelson. Back to Ross. But it's turned over. Papademetro getting on the end of that one. Now linking up with Williams. Williams gets it out for the Zebras. Tries to pass it into the path of Simioi, but can't do anything there as it goes well wide, and it's gone out for a corner. Corner for the Zebras. Just the sheer pressure from the Zebras, Joe. Not giving them an inch on that ball in the middle of the park. And we get those turnovers that happen like that. So Zebras going from a defensive mindset to an attacking mindset in one pass from the opposition player. So it'll be a...
Dominic, I like the signs young Tom Barfrosh has picked up his game. I can see him doing defensive duties in our back half. So all bodes well for the young man.
It does.
Red hot form, as we've said before.
So Barfrosh take the corner for the Zebras. 40 minutes gone here at CB Smith Reserve. It's Moreland Zebras 1, Northcote City 0. Corner comes in, goes to the back post, and Goran gets underneath it. Flick on, can't find a Zebras player though. Northcote try to clear it, goes over the top of Williams. Williams still in possession, strong, wins it back for the Zebras. Now Simua with it. His teammates urging him to go forward, does. Finds Timmins out wide now. Timmins.
Sadler stayed up, the ball's not the great one. Barfrosh makes something.
Takes a shot, Barfrosh, brilliant save there by Petrovsky though. Great turn from Barfrosh, just
left and right foot, man knows
He
how to
does.
throw it. And he's got good sight on that. And the young Petrovski's got a good, strong hand to it to push it wide.
Didn't look like much of a cross from Timmins. It looked like it didn't strike it properly, Joe, but managed to get to the path of Barfrosh, and from nothing turns and manages to get a great strike, and even better save from the Northcote goalkeeper there to keep his side in this game and still only be 1 goal down.
Northcote at 6s and 7s. Tremaine Sadler was onto that if it had been deep on his own, but here we go again.
Another corner coming in. Zebras at the back post there. Comes off the Northcote defender, number 3, Parsons Collins. Out for another throw in now for the Zebras.
Be a long one. Nicky Simuel
Yep.
is strolling up to take the throw in.
Makes his way across there now.
Looking for the head of Barfrosh. Matt Watley comes back. And Tremaine Sadler.
Bit of movement in the box. Looking for the long one there now. Niagora the target. Tries to get him. Can't bring it down. Comes out into the path of Devitt. Devitt sort of half-heartedly, and referee's found a free kick there. I think it's a Zebras free kick. It is Zebras free kick, yep.
Thank goodness.
Didn't know which way it was going to go then, Joe. He sort of didn't know which way he was pointing for that one. It was.
In this commentary box, I can tell you, Dominic, for all you
Look, to be honest with you, Joe, it looked like a 50-50 ball. They were both going for that ball, so could have gone either way then. But
we're not buying real estate off number 9. He's referee still not pulling him back. Come on, ref. That's got to be about 3 metres at the most, doesn't it? I don't know. Less we say about officialdom, the better. There he moving back now.
he's moved back into position now. They've given him the 9 and a bit yards there. Long one into the box coming in now. Petrovski claims that one there quite easily.
Playing well by Petrovski.
Can't say too much about the kick though. It's just a high up and under sort of ball with the Zebras retain possessions back again.
It's a wet ball.
Near Goran, still in possession with it. Devitt, still in possession. Zebras, yep, all the way back now. Tremaine Sadler, left foot over the top. And that man again, unfortunately, Papademetriou. No, not Papademetriou, they've switched. That's Barfrosh out wide there. Getting the offside call on that occasion.
Not quite agreeing with that one, but nonetheless. Ooh.
Trosky, another shank of a sort of kick there, but manages to get him out of trouble. Long one over the top.
At the moment, Dominic, we don't want to concede anything before half time. We'd like to score one, but
Simeon now back to Fraser. Fraser, long one over the top. Head of, yep, Papademetriou. Northcote player down. I think he may have got a little bit of a head clash, and yeah, the referee's right to stop the game to check on the welfare of that player. Number 15, Anthony Risk. It was more just a clash of heads. Going for that header.
while we take a brief interlude, today's game brought to you by Nemcon Pools and Essendon Jeep. I know the two things don't go hand in hand, but everybody needs a pool at one stage in their life.
That's right.
And if you can't buy a Jeep, you can buy a Fiat, or you can buy an Alpha.
You can, definitely,
Buy
Joe.
a lot of those things from that Essendon Jeep.
As the game gets restarted there, Northcote kicking the ball back to the Zebras. Chalmers now goes long, looking for the head of Barfrosh.
Well won by Tibbets.
Still in possession there now. Devitt unfortunately couldn't find the 1-2 pass there with Barfrosh, and it goes out for another Zebras throw-in.
Northcote keen to find the halfway whistle at this stage.
44 minutes gone here at CB Smith Reserve. It's Moreland Zebras 1, Northcote City 0. Throwing comes in there now. Timmins trying to link up with Devitt. Can't though. Turned over, and it goes out for a Northcote throw-in.
Keeping the ball locked in there at the moment for most of the play. Want to get the loose man going now.
Now coming in Northcote, getting in behind the players. Coming through now. Tries to get past Sadler. Sadler gets behind it. I think it's going to be a free kick there for the Zebras. Yep.
Yes,
Northcote players remonstrating, but
there's that pole again. So it's about 8%, Dominic.
yeah, on this side of the ground, and unfortunately,
unfortunately,
unfortunately, our viewers will also be getting that pole in their shot tonight, Joe, as the cameraman's on this side of the ground tonight due to the.
Only cheerio to Moreland Council, but everything's going well. But the pole is 8% of the game. And for those of you that can't see it, Fraser Chalmers will kick it out from behind the pole.
As the referee think he's given, yeah, he has. He's given Fraser a yellow card there, Joe,
Oh,
for not taking the free kick from the location of where the foul actually happened. So
the last instructions by the coach before walking out was don't tempt this chap. He has a habit of giving out yellow cards.
Williams there just
Saying, what for, ref?
having a chat to him. Sometimes best not to engage them at all, Joe, and just get on with the game.
No, correct.
As ball goes forward there now. Linesman looks to the ref looks to the linesman, then they make a decision. It's a Zebras throw-in. Ball comes in now. Neogoran on the end of it. Tries to turn into the box. Still with it, Neogoran. Still with it. Gets turned over though. Northcote try get it out. Canal got the last touch. Williams now in possession. Comes out wide to Simioi. Simioi links up with Papa Dimitri, but unfortunately too much on that pass.
Just
And
rode it wide.
puts it out for another Northcote throw-in. As the fourth official will put up the board for our additional.
Couldn't be too much on it. Any more than a minute or two would make it a bit of a surprise.
And there it is, Joe. Solitary minute of additional time to be played in this first half. As Northcote now coming out wide.
Time to stand firm, Dominic.
Technical side of the ground. Yes, it is, Joe, definitely. Technical side of the ground. Northcote still in possession. Still looking to go forward. Now they do. Overcooked it. Timmins there and Sadler can't quite clear it out there, though. Wilson gets into the box. Can't do anything with it, though. Ball gets cleared. Canal now turns. Goes long and clears it well over the line for another Northcote throw-in. Shouldn't be too much time left, I don't think, Joe, on the clock. We've just ticked over the 46th minute mark here. It's the Moreland Zebras 1, Northcote City 0. As a cross comes in. Not dealt with by anyone yet on that occasion. Now ball comes out. Referee's going to his book. There's been a few of those tonight, Joe, just behind play after the Zebras players or even coming out of that back line. Been a few cheeky little ones there. Now the referee's starting to dish out a fair few yellow cards. I think that was the fourth yellow card of the game now.
Well, he wasn't pinned wrong, was he? He likes the cards.
Fraser on that occasion asking the referee where he was going to take it from.
Are they okay to go? Yes, you are, big man.
So Fraser goes long now.
That should be half time.
Over the top. Sending it through. Canal, the goal scorer. Can't win it down, but there's the half-time whistle. It's the Moreland Zebras 1, Northcote City 0. We'll go to a quick break and then we'll come back with Joe and some of our special guests.
We've got Councillor Oscar Yildiz from Moreland City Council to talk politics of all things. Would you believe it?
So we'll
be back shortly.
Back after this break.
listeners watching on Zebras TV and YouTube channel. I have with me as a guest who's just about to be sparked to life with his sound system by young producer, young Alex. It's all about blue and red this weekend, apart from the pink charity matches this weekend, but most of you will know that next weekend the federal election is on. So I've got a guest coming up. We're eagerly trying to get technically on board here. He'll be able to give us a bit more insight.
I'm partially deaf in one ear, Joe.
I can hear you now, Oscar.
Okay, I can't hear him that well.
There's a bit of technical difficulties, but we'll get there shortly. If you're enjoying the game, at half-time, Moreland Zebras 1, Northcote City 0. As young Alex working feverishly to get Councillor Yildiz live. Yep, we're all good to go.
Yep.
Welcome, Oscar Yildiz, Councillor Oscar Yildiz from
Thank
Moreland
you.
City Council.
Pleasure to be here, Joe.
I hope you're enjoying the game.
Certainly am.
Nice initiative by Moreland Zebras to aid the charity, the anti-council council charity for this weekend.
Yeah, it didn't surprise me, to be honest, because the club's very philanthropic, and I know that you guys are always on board and engaging with charities. So to see what you guys are doing tonight is fantastic, in honour of all the mums and our women who've lost their lives to cancer, and hopefully those that are currently receiving therapy and treatment, hope they recover.
Very much so, Oscar. We've all had one, and we wouldn't be here without them, so point well made. Oscar, we draw your attention to politics, and I know you're an old hand at it, having just unsuccessfully missed out on a state spot earlier this year, but what's your thoughts on the upcoming election next weekend?
Look, to be honest, Joe, I've been asking friends and family, and a lot of people have been telling me about who they're going to vote for. It's what I'm finding is that a lot of people are mixed at the moment. There's no one decisively saying they're going to vote Labor or Liberal. That's the feeling I get. I think both leaders are campaigning really well. I know that Bill Shorten's doing some fantastic work, and to be honest, so is Scott Morrison. But look, I think it's going to be tight. I really do. I mean, everyone's predicting Labor, and I think Labor's doing a great job, and Bill Shorten's party, Labor Party, and in particular a number of his ministers are doing well. I think the question about climate change and the question about the carbon, the cost of his tax on that, I think he needs to answer those questions. He keeps I guess he's not answering it directly, and I think he needs to, because if we're talking in excess of $290 billion, where's that money coming from exactly? And I think times are tough. I mean, I'm talking to people even downstairs before, talking to some sponsors. They're saying that retail's tough, and it's not as easy as it was, 5-10 years ago. And I think to impose on hard-working families more taxes, I think that's going to be the winner over whichever party wins this election.
We sincerely hope not. I take your point on all of those factors. Bill, on the same token, at the same time, is talking about how he's going to find that extra $250 billion. Was answering a question by talking about the Futures Fund. So we're not quite sure where that comes into play. Having said that, it's such a big job, but I think generally people like to know that A, they're going to be gainfully employed, the environment's going to be looked after, because without it we're not going to be able to function too well. And what are we going to do about the rise in the cost of energy, which has been such a big burden for the average Australian over the last 10 years specifically? So these are all questions that people aren't silly enough to just go on personality, so they'll need some sort of answer. The best voter you can be in Australia, in my humble opinion, and this is just my opinion, is a swinging voter. And the swinging voter takes into account all sorts of scenarios that should be for the benefit of the country rather than the individual, because if the country's doing well, the individual will definitely be doing well.
Yeah, spot on. Look, there's a lot of hesitation out there by a lot of people, because I think confidence in government, confidence in politicians in general, is at its all-time low at the moment. And when you hear about the retirees potentially being taxed, when you hear about, I don't know if it's scaremongering, but when you hear about negative gearing potentially after this election, yeah, I mean, the question I've got is, if I've worked very hard in my life and I've made some investments, what have I done to deserve to be more taxed on that? And you look at the stamp duty. You look at the land tax, Joe. If you own, one or two properties, you could be paying anywhere between $7,000 to $10,000 just in land tax, and then you got your rates, and then what's the point of even wanting to buy an investment property?
It takes away the incentive to do too much more, and that's where I see the problem sitting. The fact is that there's a whole bucket of cash cow, and I'll call it a cash cow, and that's people in, dare I say it, our generation, who have worked hard and put something together in order to look after themselves. Because as we were getting older, it was all about you'll have to look after yourself. Don't rely on the pension. So we extended ourselves as much as we could. Yes, we've taken advantage of the growth state in Australia, and so we should. We're only a young country. We've got far more to offer the world. But I see it as a problem if we're going to rely on a percentage of the population, be they baby boomers or the next lot up, and the baby boomer tag's now being extended right into the 60s, so I don't know who's a baby boomer anymore. It seems like we all are.
Yeah.
If you've got some money, you must be, somehow you've derived that, I don't know how. So when you look at it from a government perspective, if they're looking to give away money to the underprivileged, to startups, to young people for education, they're looking at where they can source some of that extra funding. And that comes from an age group that has done all the work, paid all the taxes, and they shouldn't be deprived of that.
No, we shouldn't be punished for working hard. And I think, someone said to me earlier today, they said even with confidence in the real estate market at the moment, there's a massive drop in prices, and they're expecting that to continue. And even with recession, a lot of our young generation haven't seen a recession. We have, and we've been through a number of recessions, and we've been able to fight through that and through all those challenges. And we've invested in the right. I think in most of us anyway. I'm talking about you and I and our generation. I think we've made some really good choices in our investments, and we shouldn't be punished for it. But look, I think. Look, at the end of the day, the government should be responsible. Whoever wins should be responsible, because they're using our money, our taxes, to spend on things that really should be a good return and should benefit the population. But look, I think Clive Palmer's going to win some seats, especially if you're spending over $50 million on the campaign. I think there's going to be some minor parties that'll surprisingly win some seats. I think the Greens are going to find it really challenging, because I think most people have worked out the philosophy of the Greens.
Substance.
Yeah, exactly. And look, I do. Everyone's saying Labor, but I predict a closer election than that. And I think, look, I highly respect Bill Shorten. I know Bill Shorten. He's a fantastic bloke and genuinely a good guy. But as you said, Joe, it's not about personality. It's about what can you do for the country. And it's going to be interesting. But look, you're right about the swing voter, and I believe, and I predicted this a little while ago, I think informal is going to certainly be right up there. I think a lot of people will turn up to the polling booths voting either donkey votes, or they'll be voting informal votes.
Well, there you have it. Black and white supporters out there in voting land next week. Neither any direction one way or the other. The fact remains you'll need to make your own mind up. So thank you very much, Councillor Yildiz, for those commentary. We'll be back shortly for the second half of the game between Moreland Zebras and Northcote City. Thank you.
Welcome back, listeners, to the second half here of the Moreland Zebras versus Northcote City. Big Nick Niagoran to get us underway here as final preparations get started there. Referee just checking his assistant referees either side. Adjust his watch, and here we go. We are back underway here. So Zebras with possession, middle of the park now. Williams turns, comes out wide, finds Timmins. Timmins all the way back to Sadler. Sadler in possession now. Goes back out wide to Watley. Watley with possession. Looking down the line for the run there of Simioi. Gets cut off, but still manages to get it, Simioi. And trickles over the line for a Northcote throw-in early in this second half. What do you think Falstor's message would have been at half-time, Joe, with the boys?
Probably more of the same. I think, Dominic, we pressed early and put them under a fair bit of pressure, and the ball was up there, more importantly. So once the ball's there, it means Northcote have to think about what's happening. Is the ground too wet? Is it going to slide? Is it going to slip? We're a little bit anxious and nervous, and I think that bodes well for our press game. So if we can punish them again, I think it'll be a hard task for Northcote to get back in the game. But at 1-0, it's still anybody's game.
Good to see the rain has also held off a little bit. Had a little bit of a shower during the under-20s game, but it's been relatively dry during this senior game tonight. We hope it stays that way.
Yeah, and a huge credit to the groundsman here at CB Smith Reserve for Moreland City Council. The drainage is actually holding up quite well. The ground looks in tremendous nick.
As Fraser now for the Zebras takes a quick one. Finds Watley, goes long, looking for the head there of Liam Canal. Came off a Zebra's hand. Yep, it was Williams there with the handball. So Northcote with the free kick inside the attacking half here for Northcote. Retreats all the way back. Goes back to his teammate in Carvallis. Carvallis looking forward. Finds a run there of Nelson. Nelson back to Carvallis. Carvallis still in possession now for Northcote. Has all these options forward. Zebras doing well, zoning off. Not giving him the easy option out. Carvallis now under pressure from Niagoran. Puts it out wide. Just along the sideline there, and Devitt getting on the end of that one. Gets brought down. Referees called the free kick there. A little bit delayed, but had no option there to give the free kick for the Zebras midfielder. Luke Devitt.
See no obvious changes. I don't think any substitutions have been made by either side at half-time.
Nope, no confirmation of that. There's been no substitutions from either team as Williams goes for it. Carvallis there looking to header it, but lets it trickle over the line. Out for another throw in there for Northcote. Still in possession.
Watley finds Simioi out wide.
Comes off a Northcote player. Ball spun out and still kept in. Yep.
Good job. Good job.
Only just. Now goes a long one down the line. Still in possession, Northcote. Over the top. Tries a long one there, but Chalmers there for the Zebras. Fraser Chalmers able to pick that one there up and does so. Wasting a little bit of a time there now. Puts the ball back down. Now goes long. Was closed down by Wilson. Put under pressure. Niagoran get underneath it. Felt like he was pushed off it, but wasn't there. Play on. Devitt now. Oh, looking for the pass of Timmins. Can't find him. Ball gets turned over. Carvallis now. Goes long through. Cut over once again. Zebras win possession. Williams. Still in possession. Williams turns one way, turns the other. Still with it.
Back by young James there to cut the ball out.
Now goes out wide. Finds Barfarosh. And he's offside. There goes that flag once again. Must be that curse of that left winger, so that left attacking player, Joe. Keeps it be...
I know he's been in good form, Dom, but look across the field and you can tell whether you're offside or not. And just ball watching a little bit again, young Thomas.
Long one over the top there.
Chalmers should take this and does.
Picks it up easily. Now goes back out wide, delivers it to Watley. Watley, sorry. Watley to Devitt. It's under pressure with the kick. Simioi now sends it down the line into the path of Papadimitri. Still kept it in play though, Papadimitri. Brilliantly done. Still in possession, Zebras. Now they move forward. Pushing up the line. Still with it, Papadimitri. Goes across into the box. Comes off the back of a Northcote player into the 18-yard box. Picked up there by a Northcote player. Can't tell the number from this distance, but goes into the middle of the park. Finds Ross. Ross there trying to link up and...
Timmins. Well read by Timmins.
Smarter player. Gets in front of the ball and manages to beat Nelson there to the ball. as Sadler looking down the line, goes over the top, looking for the run there of Barfrosh or Neogoran. Both decided not to go. Picked up there now. Petrovsky now turns into the box.
And he does. Turned over. Simioi nods it back.
Brilliantly done. Into the path of Papademetriou.
He comes in and he's facing it. Gets it. Ooh, almost there to get a shot away. Doesn't. Luke Devitt shapes up. Hits Barfarosh. Big Nagorian has it now. Turning on his left.
Does turn.
Ooh, does turn. Gets a shot away, but just wide. And Northcote survived that one.
That all started by the header from Simioi. Directed his header into the path of Papademetriou, who then made the run forward. Brilliantly done there by the Zebras.
Zebras looking to punish Northcote at every opportunity for a slip-up. Northcote doing their own little pressing, not allowing ball and fluent football at this stage.
Still in possession. Northcote with it. Linking up there. Athanasiou and goes over the line. Come off a Zebras player last. So it'd be another throw in there for the visitors. In front of the Zebras technical area. Throwing comes in there now. But only as far as Simioi puts his boot through that ball, sends it forward. Neogoran underneath it. Heads it forward, but no one there, unfortunately. Picked up by
call. Would have been better going sideways with that nod down ball.
Carvalis now to Petrovsky. Now goes for the long one over the top, but easily cut down there by the Zebras player. It was Watley.
Oh, spills to Northcote player now.
Kicked it through, but Zebras players coming through. Williams there once again. Been strong there for the Zebras.
Commanding in that role, Williams. Oh, bit sprayed there by Chalmers and gives the ball straight back to Northcote. Not what the doctor ordered for Big Fraser. Puts Timmins under pressure, sees the ball out. Northcote with the throw in.
Now coming through the middle, Northcote. Still with it. Devitt got a bit of time there now.
That's the danger, those flick-ons.
Tries to send it out, doesn't. Tremaine Sadler runs into the path of it. Now sends it down the line. Still not cleared that by the Zebras. Northcote retain possession again, and then Williams, a man again, cuts it off.
Bit ragged for 2 minutes there, Moreland Zebras. Looking to get back on an even keel here.
Brilliantly done by Neogoran. Still keeps possession. Turns into the middle of the park now. Linking up with Canal. Canal to Watley. Out wide to Simioi. Simioi turns around one Northcote player. Tries to get past the second one. Can't do so. Now turned over once again.
Caught out of position now. Northcote with the extra man.
Streaming forward. Extra one through there, but it's cut off. Brilliantly done there by Sadler. Now sends it forward. Can't find the pass once again. Cut off.
Didn't look up.
A lot of cheap turnovers happening now in the last passage of play as Collins comes through, but he's signalled offside there.
Yeah, well offside there. As the lineswoman makes her mark on the game.
So Sadler letting Fraser take the resulting free kick there for the Zebras. Once again, we'd like to thank all the viewers on Facebook and on Zebras TV on TMAP for tuning in tonight. So Chalmers goes long, looking for the run in the Neogoran, gets a flick on into the path of Barfarosh. One to beat there, Barfarosh got pushed off it, but came off him last, and it's gone out for a Northcote throw-in.
Got the two Cardamone boys on the bench, Cameron Watson and young Jack Wester-Studi, so and Salacato as well. So Moreland Zebras plenty to choose from on the bench should they wish to at some stage, but
There
I'm
is, yes.
betting that the coaching team under Falstro Diamichis will be looking to get an extra goal before.
Stefan Cardamone coming off playing 90 minutes in the 20s this evening, Joe, as well. So
He played the full 90?
He played the full 90, yes.
So I know there's a couple of injuries in the under 20s, and the young man is able to play in both.
Had a couple of close chances as well. Unfortunately, couldn't get on the scoreboard, and the Zebras 20s unfortunately going down 2-0 earlier tonight. As Barfarosh now into the path of Timmins, brilliantly done there, linked up with Barfarosh into space now, streaming forward. Barfarosh now goes out wide, back to that man in Timmins again. Timmins squares it across the box there. No one could get on the end of it though. There's all Northcote players.
Not
Zebras just a
that
couple of paces back behind.
Not enough Singh.
And ball gets cleared out. Not too sure what the pass was there from the Northcote midfielder, Jordan Ross.
Nagorian
comes off a Northcote player. Yep, another throw in there for the Zebras.
Zebras throw in.
You feel at the moment, Joe, another goal for the Zebras here may actually tilt the game a bit more in our advantage.
Well,
Northcote
that's
hanging
the
in
plan.
there and
That's the plan,
not
Dominic.
looking threatening up front, but you know what it's like with these sort of teams, Joe. They can go up forward once and really
Yes.
cause that damage. Sort of. It's time now, I think, for the Zebras. As Barfrosh on his toes there.
Northcote
Carvallis put under pressure.
had to deal with it, Northcote.
He's gone
Nothing
out
doing,
for
Linesman
a
didn't put up his flag and all was good. And
So-
Simmons will take the result
Throw.
throw. A big cheerio to all black and white supporters wherever you're watching, from South Africa to Europe and back here in Melbourne. Moreland Zebras 1, Northcote City 0. Liam Cannell adding to his tally for the year.
So ball trying to get out of there. Northcote still in possession. Try the 1-2 link up. Carvallis there now goes a long one, but that's
Good pressure. Good pressure,
gone.
Dominic, from Moreland.
well out of the touch for a Zebras throw. And yes, the pressure has been fantastic from the Zebras players tonight. Haven't given Northcote an inch on the ball. Whenever they've got it, they've always had a difficult decision to make of where that ball's going to go, and really putting the pressure on early, which is great to see here from the Zebras as the cross comes through now. Middle of the park. Still with it. Northcote haven't dealt with it. Canal now switches across through, but can't find a Zebras player in the middle there, and it's turned over.
Papadimitriou too wide for that ball from Cannell. The idea was right. He's making him work for it now. Good hassling by Papadimitriou, forces him backwards, and Northcote need to
Pushes
start
them all the
again.
way back. Brilliantly done there by the Zebras. Long one over the top, and it's Watley gets the header on that one. Devitt,
Devitt
sort of-
raised his arms.
I think he lost it in the air there, Joe the ball, and then had his arm swinging around, and unfortunately committed the foul there. As the quick free kick's taken now by Northcote, coming forward. Back into the middle of the park. Jordan Ross coming back out wide.
Sold himself there, Timmins.
Nelson with it now. Goes the cross. It's headed down there by Watley. Now to Sadler. Sadler with the ball. Takes a couple of touches, then sends it out of touch for a Northcote throw-in. Better to be safe than sorry there for the Zebras, and he sends it out for a throw-in there for Northcote.
Isn't that young Zebras TV producer Alex Piccinelli down on the touchline?
I think it is, mate.
Who's running our show here in the technical?
Yeah, I know. He's down there talking to some of the spectators in the crowd, and healthy crowd here tonight, Joe, I think. There's been
Yeah,
a fair
healthy
few
crowd.
people down here
Healthy
tonight.
crowd.
It's good to see.
Good for football. Good for Friday night football at CB Smith Reserve in marvellous Moreland.
So, cross comes in there now. Nelson tries to distribute it through, but it's cut off there. Barfarosh,
Bit of work to do. Barfarosh just runs out of puff.
he did there, unfortunately. As Williams now tries to win in the middle of the park. Can't. Northcote with possession. Still with it.
Good couple of minutes by Northcote. Moreland will need to be on their toes.
Boglis linking up with Nelson. Now turned over. Still in possession. Carvallis. Over the top.
Just a little bit flat-footed at the moment, Dominic. We're not using that high press. Allowing Northcote to take the easy ball.
Parson Collins there trying to go forward and turned it over. Canal got the ball and then resulting foul there. Quick one taken now.
Barfarosh out of hunt here. No one's facing up. Papadimitriou is in there.
Near Goran still in possession.
Still with the ball.
And wins a corner for the Zebras. 3-on-1 there. Near Goran and managed to win the corner for the Zebras. Brilliantly done.
Well, that's the big man. That's the epitome of the big man there, right in that exchange there. Three players around him still managed to get a corner, and the big man just shrugs them off.
A little bit of pushing and shoving going on there off the ball.
It's a gentle giant, Nick, but when the ball's in reach, you should stay away.
Not too sure what the shorter Northcote player was sort of thinking there, Joe. He, big Nick towered over the top of him, but resulting corner now for the Zebras. Ball gets delivered in. No one from the Zebras able to get on the end of it. Number of players running through. Williams finds Devitt. Devitt now turns, retreats to Simioi. Safety in the middle of the park. Now comes back out wide. Finds Sadler in a little bit of room. Sadler ignores the run of near Goran. Now goes into the middle. Just that 8% behind that pole there was Barfarosh who turned that ball over there now. And now Northcote away. It's a 3-on-2 attacking here now. Zebras numbers getting back.
Northcote with a spare man out wide. They go opposite direction.
Comes off Simioi for another corner. So Zebras just getting a little bit caught out there, unfortunately, Joe. But
Tremaine Sadler
luckily for us, yeah.
Sucked up into the vacuum and ended up wrong side of the ball. Timmins had to scramble back to cover that middle. Moreland had a little bit of pressure. Young Luke Devitt playing a sterling game. The youngster from Queensland settled into Melbourne life very quickly.
Corner coming in there now, over the top of everyone, and he's going to be doing well if he keeps this in, but unfortunately it trickles over the line, and it'll be another Zebras throw-in.
Yeah, he's made the switch from totally polar opposite climates, Luke Devitt, fair-skinned young man, and settled into Melbourne life very easily, seamlessly.
Bumped off that ball. Now it was a fairly late challenge there on Canal. He's not moving all that well.
Might have injured his knee. He's fairly robust character, Liam Canal. He won't be going down too easily, but just up to his feet now and hobbling. No repercussions for anybody from the referee, so Tremaine Sadler will take the resultant free kick, urging the team to step forward. Looking to go down the left channel. Goes into the middle.
Can't find a teammate. Timmins there gets in front of the ball, wins possession back. Now Williams linking up with Timmins. Back to Sadler. First time kick from Sadler. Had no other option there and had to send it forward, and it goes over for another throw in there.
Saying you give me no room here.
As the first substitution of the game coming up for the Zebras, Joe. Coming off, number 8, Liam Canal. Being replaced by number 17, Cameron Watson, I think it is. Yep, 17. So coming off, number 8, Liam Canal, being replaced by number 17, Cameron Watson.
Substitution for Moreland Zebras, coming off number 8, Liam Canal, the goal scorer, coming on number 17, skipper Cameron Watson.
So Cameron coming onto the park there now, making his injury return, Joe. Club captain Cameron Watson, as ball gets flicked up in the air. Sadler still keeping it up in the air though there. Watley goes the clearance. Barfarosh, referee's all over. Oh, no, play on, calls the referee. Long one over the top. Niagoran getting underneath this one. Pressures it Niagoran there now, but can't get the ball down and trickles into the path of Petrovski. Petrovski now, quick throw in for the visitors. Carvallis goes down the line, but it's gone over touch for another Zebras throw-in.
Yeah, club captain number 10 there, Cameron Watson, comes in for his first game in a number of weeks after a quad injury that's kept him out, but the skipper's all better now.
Long one over the top. Niagoran on the end of this one. Still looking for it, Niagoran, still in possession. Now finds a path, finds it into the path of Timmins. Timmins drives onto his left, still in possession, Timmins. Now gets the cross in, comes off a Northcote player, first time kick, and goes out for another throw in there for the Zebras.
To lose nothing of the midfield battle, so Watson will have to be on his bike to make sure he covers exactly the workload that Liam Canal's doing.
We've got confirmation of another substitution here. Northcote this time, coming off number 4, Adrian Boglis, being replaced by number 11, Noah. Substitution for Northcote City, coming off number 4, Adrian Boglis, being replaced by number 11, Noah Mihailidis. That's confirmation of the substitution here at CB Smith Reserve. So it's one substitution each for both the teams thus far in this game. Still 2 substitutions left to go. As Zebras will bring this back into play. Williams now onto his right. Goes a long one over the top. Into the path there of Papadimitriou, but he can't bring that one there down.
Header to himself wide, but a bit too close to Petrovski. Cleans up and rolls it out. Northcote keen to play out. They find a gap on the left-hand side this time.
Still with it, Northcote in possession. Nelson looking forward. Samuel Clayman, it was a Zebras ball, but it came off a Zebras player last, and it's gone out for another Northcote throw-in. .64 minutes gone here at CB Smith Reserve. It is the Moreland Zebras 1, Northcote City 0, thanks to a 3 or 4 minute goal there by Liam Canal in the first half. Northcote still in possession. Carvallis.
Both teams fairly cautious. Northcote keen to get back into contest. Moreland keen to see it out, even at this early stage. Forces it to play backwards. Petrovski, first time.
Carvallis there now, turned over, but
Josh making him work hard for it.
Losing his footing.
Exactly what we need. Oh, there we go, and he's put it wide. So that's the pressure of having someone run at you when you don't want him to run at you.
Yep, Neogoran there for the Zebras, putting the pressure on. As we've got another substitution here now. Coming off number 14, James Papadimitriou, being replaced by number 16. Is that Davide Cardamone coming on? It is Davide Cardamone.
Substitution for Moreland Zebras, going off number 14, James Papadimitriou, coming on number 16, Stefan Cardamone.
No, Davide.
Correction, David Cardamone.
Is it?
They look alike.
It's Davide. As Joe Muck's up there, as you mentioned that, Joe, Davide was actually looking towards the box to say, no, it's not Stefan, it's Davide coming on here. So Davide straight into play.
Heavy pressure on the media contingent, I can tell you.
There is, yes. Stefan Cardamone is actually number 19, Joe.
So David makes his way back after injury as well. We've missed him in the middle, but performed quite well.
Neogoran knocked off there on, yep, edge of the 18-yard box there now. Dangerous spot here for the Zebras. Watson coming across to assess the free kick as some of the Zebras' tall timbers make their way up there. Tremaine Sadler and Watley making his way up there too. No, Sadler's changed his mind. He'll send Devitt up there instead. So Watley comes back and retreats. Watson on the end of the free kick here. Dangerous position for the Zebras. This is
returning skipper, produce one.
Ball comes in. Can't find a Zebras player though. Williams goes the flick over the top into the path there of Cardamone. And Cardamone, it's in. They all stopped. The Northcote players looking at Neogoran, who was in the offside position, but he had nothing to do with the play. And Cardamone, I think it was, Joe, that came in and slotted the goal there for the Moreland Zebras.
Goal Moreland Zebras, goal scorer
16. So I think it was the second kick of the game for him, Joe, and he manages to slot in a goal. Great return from injury there for Davide Cardamone. He's non-preferred foot there, on the right foot there for the left footer. Slotted it home. So Zebras now want to push. Cardamone, goal scorer. Here he goes forward. Still with it.
Dances round, provides the ball for Timmins. He comes back. Not really the ball we're looking for, but we
still
make
in possession.
Okay.
No, it's a foul there on Watson.
Watson with a high foot, says referee. Nothing doing. Northcote eager to get it moving now. Are they going to open up and leave themselves exposed at the back, Dominic?
No, because Devitt turns it over, wins it back for the Zebras. Neogoran gets into the space there. Keeper comes out. Neogoran comes off
the keeper's come out too, and he knows what he's doing, Big Nick, so he's forces a corner. Yeah, Northcote could be in a bit of strife if they keep leaving those gaps. I know 2-0, you'll really have to produce something to get back in the game, but
I think one more goal here from the Zebras, Joe, and I think that'd be curtains there for the visitors, unfortunately. As the Zebras now stepping up to take the corner kick. I think it is
just a bit lost in the gloom.
It is a little bit. Can't tell who the player is, but kick comes in. Not dealt with though by the Northcote player.
And the locals get another chance to keep a $120 football.
No, that bounced off the fence. That's in the pathway there, Joe. Hasn't gone next door to
Moreland Council are definitely looking at putting an exit gate at the south end of CB Smith Reserve so we can retrieve those balls. I've had confirmation of that.
Because our official needs to go from the scoreboard end of the ground. So
ground right outside and collect it. So congratulations there and well done.
As Williams there links up with Cardamone, still in possession. Cardamone turns back to Williams. Williams, first time left foot shot. Watson on the end of it, couldn't get the touch though. No, not Watson, sorry, it was Watley. Yeah, Watley, unfortunately, I couldn't tell with the glare there. Watley.
Probably getting in each other's way there for a little bit. Breathing a little bit better with the 2 goals cushion. Is it enough?
Long one. Simeoi wins the header down into the path of Barfrosh, who headers it down to Devitt. Referee's found a free kick there. Not too sure that. And free kick taken well in front of where we're actually taken, but referee calls play on. Brilliant tackle there by Simeoi. No, referee's called there. It's a yellow card. He's gotten all the man there, and unfortunately, a little bit. So free kick there for the Zebras. Free kick there for Northcote. I can hear you, Joe. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
That's it. I can hear you now as well.
Okay.
So, free kick there for Northcote. Simioi, the Zebras player, getting into the referee's book there. Gets the fifth yellow card of the game. As substitution, I think, has been made there by Northcote. I think coming off was number 14. Being replaced by number 26. Substitution for Northcote City, coming off number 14, Asher Nelson, being replaced by number 26, John Bayon. As free kick was taken there now. Still with it. Long one over the top. Fraser able to pick that one there up quite easily. Hasn't had to do much so far in this game apart from one shot in the first half, Joe. Hope it continues to trend in this second half.
We'll be happy with that if he doesn't have to make a save.
So,
nor do we want him to pick the ball up out of the net.
long one there through. Cardamone get on the end of that one, but comes off a Northcote player in Salikitis, and it goes out for another throw. So Cardamone takes a throw, finds near Goran, now Williams. Williams still in possession for the Zebras, turns, gets around his opponent easily that way. Now goes back out wide, finds Cardamone. Into the middle of the park, Williams. Williams now to Watson, returning skipper there now. Finds Timmins. Timmins can't get past the second Northcote player there. Cardamone comes off a boot and then hits him square in the face, still plays on. Watson with it, retreats back, finds Sadler. Sadler looking to turn, does, into the path of Cardamone. And an offside flag has gone up there against the goal scorer, Davide Cardamone.
You can play anywhere across that middle and anywhere across that front line, Cardamone. He's such a powerhouse when he's in full flight.
So Carvallis now for Northcote, goes back to Petrovski. Phil Petrovski there now, distributes it out wide. Looking for the option forward, goes the long one over the top, trying to find his teammate and the substitute Bayon, but it trickles over his head and goes out for a Zebras goal kick. Northcote player going across there to get the ball for them. Still in possession. So it's...
We're all back technically here, Dominic, I think. All the sound systems.
We are. All the sound's okay, I think, Joe. Yep.
Apologies for those that couldn't hear anything on, but I know there's a number of you watching. So far, Moreland Zebras at the 73-minute mark. 2 goals to the good.
Petrovski now goes out wide. Looking for the options forward. Near Goran closing him down. Flicks over the top again.
Gets to there.
Now goes the long one over the top. Finds in possession. Simioi across there to close it off. Tries to get the shot through. Cross goes along the ground, but
Fraser
Chalmers
down low.
Picks that one there up easily again as well.
Good build-up play by Northcote. Got to say, ball out wide, ball into the 6-yard box, but Fraser just cut it out. Nice dive to his left.
Big kick by Fraser, looking for near Goran. Gets a flick on into the path of Cardamone. Can't bring it down though. Northcote coming out with it now. Athanasu.
Just need to close this middle a little bit. We've got players forward of the ball, but we just don't want to relinquish control of the middle.
Carvallis in the middle of the park. Strong challenge here by Timmins. That was on Mihalidis. Now Parsons Collins.
Turns over now, Barfarosh.
Brilliantly done. Finds near Goran. Now Devitt. Devitt out wide to Cardamone.
Willing runner in Cardamone. Can he get it over? Goes back inside again to Cameron Watson. He's tried to hit the young man. He didn't.
Goes out for a Zebras throw in anyway.
He's in plenty of space there, young Devitt. It had been found by Cameron Watson, but not to be. Zebras will take the throw in. I make it 76 minutes, Dominic.
Yes. As Timmins takes it now. Into the path there. Can't find a teammate near Goran. Giving up the chase there early, but Northcote now breaking it out wide. Through the middle of the park now. Turning back through. A lot of that one on that pace there. And ball trickles over the line for a Zebras throw-in. What's been some slippery conditions out there today after the heavy rainfall we've had today. The ground has actually held up pretty well.
Yeah, I must say the ground's coped. There's been none of that too much of a pooling of any water. It certainly has the capacity to drain a lot of water, CB Smith Stadium, so it's a credit to the groundskeepers. Big Peter Moth Brown does a great job, him and his team, looking after the surfaces of the ground. So if you're listening, Pete, well done, mate.
The ball gets distributed in the middle of the park now. Williams couldn't find his teammate. Pass Sadler.
Caught out here.
He's the
going to get
substitute.
started and made to pay. Northcote in possession. And they get the throw in. Yes.
Yep, it's a Zebras throw.
Watson. Good work by Watson.
So Timmins with the ball for the Zebras, taking his time. No need to rush things here at the moment. Now goes the throw. Finds Neogoran, whose first time kick finds Devitt in the middle of the park, who then finds Williams, and now it's through to Neogoran, unfortunately, just offside there.
Just remiss of me to say, Don, but I believe round 6, or is it round 7 of the FFA Cup, we progress to the next round. We play Westgate.
Yes,
at home.
Will
Dates
be,
be confirmed for all you Zebra supporters. Zebra's keen to get to the national stage of the FFA Cup.
And the opponent for that game there, Joe?
Westgate.
Yes.
Westgate City.
I believe some ex-Zebras players.
Yes, skippered by our former skipper Milija Medjedovic. Also our former big centre half Milos Tosic, Nicholas Sabin, the midfielder. So the few Zebras there. Could be a Zebras reunion that game, the next round of the FFA Cup. Zebra's not too far away from the national stage.
So details for that will be out on Facebook shortly. Confirmation of that fixture will be over the next couple of weeks. As Williams now turns.
It opens up for Williams. Well, Barfarosh takes a shot at deflects. But no, just wouldn't come off. It was Cam Watson that took the shot. Barfarosh onto the loose one, but Watley wins the ball.
Brilliantly done there. Now comes out wide.
Two holding midfielders for Moreland Zebras today, both Cannell, who's gone off, and Luke Devitt has done a sterling job. It's just screening that back four with aplomb.
Now turning.
This is typical of the young man this season, Barfarosh, who's added that defensive point to his game. Coming back to a lot of work, and then
brilliant into space for Simioi.
Simioi to glance around him. Can he do it? Yes, he can. Takes a
Simioi! What a brilliant goal by Nicholas Simioi. Pulls up the pants and walks out to the corner flag to celebrate. Kicks the ball down there with him as well. And brilliant strike there. Was a turnover there.
Goal scorer number 3, Nicholas Simioi. Moreland Zebras 3, Northcote City 0.
Brilliantly done there by Mirabella medalist Nicholas Simioi.
Yeah.
Great strike on goal there.
Young Simioi won the Mirabella medal at the age of 19 in his first season as a senior player. Been with the club since the age of 14, and that was testimony to all the skill he's always possessed, Dominic.
Definitely.
Always on a hiding to nothing one-on-one. Great work.
So Zebras taking a commanding 3-0 lead here. As Northcote get us back underway. Ball in the middle of the park now. Still with it. Neogoran still full of run, closing, putting that pressure on. Long one over the top. Tries to get it through there, but it's cut off by the Zebras, and Watson brings it back out wide now. Looking for Barfarosh. Can't find him. Ball gets turned over. Watson going to retrieve his ball there now as well. Still with it, Northcote. Long one over the top into the 18-yard box. Goes to turn. And the referee's found, linesman's put a flag up there. Be a offside.
We make it to the 79th minute mark, Dominic. So over 10 minutes to go, plus time on.
So 79 minutes gone here at CB Smith Reserve. It's Moreland Zebras 3, Northcote City 0. In what's been a commanding performance here from the Zebras tonight.
Probably never in doubt. We started off pretty firmly, pressed early and high, played the ground to our advantage and got some rewards for the hard work. As we can
closing.
now, Cardamone almost onto one, gets knocked away.
Middle of the park there now. Northcote still pushing forward. Still plenty of run. Now gets in behind the Zebras defender, but it's cut off there by the goal scorer in Simioi, who finds near Goran. Has a bit of time now to turn. Barfarosh went into an offside position. Still play on. Checked off the ball there. There's a couple of fouls there. Referee's reaching into his pocket. Not too sure who he's going to book there. Yep, there's the yellow card.
4.
The Northcote player. I'm just trying to see who it was.
Very hard to see the numbers from the distance, unfortunately. But the rain's held off. Marvellous Moreland at the peak. It's Friday night football.
Raining goals here, Joe.
Raining goals, yes. Good terminology, Dom.
As substitutions being made there by Northcote. I couldn't tell who the player.
Bit of a delay in play there, just in front of the perfect timber floor sign. Oh, knock on. Oh, he singled offside. The big man was standing offside. Otherwise, it was a slotted goal.
So just confirming that substitution for Northcote, Joe. Coming off number 18, Jordan Ross, being replaced by number 17, Yaya Khalif.
Yep, and we'll probably need to sack the ground announcer for not mentioning that, but nonetheless.
We'll do that.
There's no bias on this commentary table, I can tell you.
So long one over the top there now from Northcote, still trying to keep in this game. We're into the last 10 minutes of the match now, into the 81st minute, I think we are, Joe. As Simioi now turns. Now going for a run down the line, Simioi. Gets checked, goes past one, links up there with Nia Goran, who links up with Barfarosh. Came off a hand there.
He's in the mood.
Referee not calling a handball.
Simioi in the mood to play after that goal.
As
well in for Timmins.
Watley, I think it was.
Oh, Watley.
Yep. Comes back into the middle of the park. 3 Zebras players get around it. Watson wins it down, finds Cardamone. Going backward to Timmins. Can't find him. Comes off a Northcote player. Northcote retain possession. Now turning in. Mihalides now the substitute for the Northcote team. Now with the ball. Comes out wide to Wilson. Wilson back into the middle to Athanasiou. Now across to Carvallis there in the middle. Nia Goran can't win the ball.
I'll tell you what, the big man gets nothing for his endeavours.
Turned over. Williams with possession now. Williams still with possession. In the middle of the park. Referee finally calls the free kick. Now, he stopped the game. Now, if he's going to stop the game in that situation, he either books him and gives him a yellow card or plays the advantage.
Well, we've got the ball.
Never really understand the reasoning behind that, but...
he's not in Kalgoorlie. He's 5 metres away.
As Zebras take the quick free kick there now. Simioi gets around one. Now goes into the path there of Devitt, who gets the ball as well on this wing. Back into the middle to Simioi, and it comes off a Northcote player. Another Zebras corner.
Just purrs along like a racing car, Nick Simioi, when he's on the charge. Got such a good deft touch for going that fast. He sort of epitomises his pedigree. You round out
83rd minute.
83rd minute. Another goal would be nice, just
Get
for
some,
percentage.
Score updates from around the ground shortly after this corner, as corner is taken, cleared there by Northcote, only as far as Simioi, who finds Watson. Watson still in possession. Now comes out wide to Barfarosh. Barfarosh tackled there. Stearns still in possession. Brilliantly done by Barfarosh. Looks up with Devitt, who finds Watson.
Zebras playing the triangles to perfection.
Here we go through now. Simioi getting into the 18-yard box. Now goes the long ball along the ground. Can't find a teammate, unfortunately, and Northcote managed to get out on that one.
Northcote to be keen to get the ball out, and they do. This time they do. Run on.
Goes the quick one through, but can't get that one out of control. And Devitt now.
Been resolute all game, Watley.
Now Cardamone.
Dave holds it on for Timmins. Finds Nia Goran with his feet. Lays it back to Timmins. Timmins all the way back. Tremaine Sadler, you have a touch, son. Give Fraser Chalmers the same.
Gives it back to Fraser.
Big Fraser gets onto
Sends it.
Looking for Simoy out wide.
Came up the Northcote player last. Yep, and the linesman signals that way. It's another Zebras throw in. Just some score updates for the MPL around the grounds, Joe. Full-time scores, Bentley Greens 3, Port Melbourne 2. And 83rd minute, Dandenong City 2, Kingston City 0.
Good result for Dandenong City, doing it hard down the bottom end of the table, but they'll be pleased with that result.
As Barfarosh there gets manhandled. Referee calls play on. Comes out wide now. Northcote with possession, breaking out through the middle. Still with it, Northcote, but it's turned over there, and Devitt picks it up for the Zebras. Into the path of Timmins.
Zebras keen on not blotting the copybook with a conceded goal tonight.
Timmins looking forward. Into the path of Simoy, who's pushed well forward up the ground. After scoring that goal, he's found a bit more energy to push forward. Timmins still in possession. Turns around one, finds Williams. Back to Timmins. Back to Cardamone, who tries to turn through, but it's come up a Zebras player last and goes out for another Northcote throw-in.
Well, the bonus of tonight, Dominic's been that the boys that have been missing in action for quite some time, as the team's performed admirably, have seamlessly slotted back into the team and are getting good mileage under their belt.
Definitely have, Joe, which is great to see.
It's a long season.
It is. As I'll give you another score update around the ground. We've got the A-League on at the moment, Joe. 73rd minutes, Perth Glory 1, Adelaide United 0.
That'll be a tight affair right to the end, I'd say.
As Northcote still in possession outside the 18-yard box there, but in comes Watson like a wall and just stopped the attack there for Northcote as they managed to still get possession middle of the park there, though. Niagoran the only one there for the Zebras. Fraser coming out for it. Nothing doing. Cleared out by Simoy.
Bit too high for my liking without challenging for the ball. Fraser Chalmers there. Anything could go wrong.
Brilliantly done there now. Williams turns. Oh, great ball over the top to Barfarosh. Couldn't get on the end of it, unfortunately. But great vision there from Williams to see his teammate on that side.
Well controlled there by the number 9 from Northcote.
Yep, that was Wilson. As Wilson still in possession with it. Now finds his teammate moving forward.
Northcote using the opportunity to try some things.
Khalif loses his footing there in the middle of the park. Watson picks up the scraps. Now goes forward. Finds Niagoran. Still with it. Niagoran.
Laid off, big man, and he does. Timmins got himself into a bit of a lather there.
Yep, bit of a tangle there, but long one through now. Northcote out wide. Looking for the options forward. It's still in there, Northcote, but Devitt comes across, gets the clearance. Looking for Cardamone. Still can't get a Cardamone though. It's Northcote edge of the box. Now comes out wide. Finds his teammate in. Up. Ball cleared. Only just. Cardamone now breaks out for the Zebras. Now goes along the ground, finding Niagoran, who holds it up well. Looking for the options there. Finds Timmins. Timmins into space for Devitt now. Devitt turns. Got a bit of time now.
Played out of the back with aplomb. No rush, no bother, no kick it anywhere.
Barfarosh, I think, was not on his toes. Was a little bit flat-footed. As ball gets cleared there.
No wonder he's right back there defending it. He knows that was his.
Still in possession, the Zebras. Barfarosh plays it into the path of Williams. Williams with it now. Niagoran asked it for the run out wide, but he was in an offside position. Williams seeing that, avoiding the pass through. Now switches across, finds Cardamone.
Some noticeably heavy legs on both sides at the moment. So the ground obviously taking its toll, Dominic.
Oh, Cardamone, brilliantly done. Side footers him over the top. Niagoran just over his head.
Just as I say that, Dave Cardamone turns on a 50-metre sprint.
Put the afterburners on and got past there his opponent there. Good performances so far from Cardamone and also Watson coming back from injury, Joe.
He's been training well. He wasn't rushed back, given plenty of opportunity to overcome that strain, that stomach strain. But looks to be taking no ill effects from the run tonight. Just breathing heavy now.
A little bit out of breath. I think it's just match fitness now. Just going to get back. But
athletes will do that to you.
Mm-hmm.
Body language is everything.
Definitely. As we get into the 90th minute here of the round 12 clash between Moreland Zebras and Northcote City. Just waiting for the...
This will keep the pressure on the top two, keeps us in striking distance. All to play for, 16 games to go if I'm correct.
It is, Joe, yes, and some interesting matchups coming up in the rest of the round. We've got Werribee City playing Goulburn Valley Suns away, and St Albans playing Springvale White Eagles, the two teams above the Zebras at the moment.
Nothing's to be taken for granted this year in terms of the West Division seems to be quite firm.
Yeah, sort of being the harder league this year, isn't it, Joe? A lot of people thought at the start of the season that the East was going to be the harder league, but it looks like the real contest is here in the Western Conference.
Hard to tell early on. It's not until you get 10 rounds in or so that you can see how we match up, especially with the cross conference round, as today is. So our counterparts from the east side, Northcote, although they're sitting second on the east side.
Near Goran.
Not reading too much. Near Goran, fighting hard.
Path of Watson can't win it back, unfortunately, and goes past another Zebras player as Tremaine Sadler goes in there like a steam train. Couldn't get the ball though.
Play on.
Called
So this
play
time
on.
he says play on. Northcote come out of it. Sadler overruns it. Timmins makes up and they play. Yes, they play the triangles and out they come. Cardamone looking for that feed ball.
Oh, couldn't
Gives it
find
to
Goran.
He's done enough, Big Nick. He's done enough. Just a little bit on his haunches for that one. Long ball. Watley under it. Gets ahead to it. Knocks it wide for Timmins. Zebras will gather in good time and gets a throw in. Smart play.
I think there's going to be another substitution here for the Zebras. Young number 18, Salvatore Accardo. Looks like he's coming on, and he's going to be replacing Nick Niagoran.
Substitution for Morgan Zebras. That's better. Substitution for Morgan Zebras going off number 9, Nick Niagoran. Coming on number 18, Sal Accardo.
So there's the third and final substitution for the Moreland Zebras, being made in the stoppage time here at CB Smith Reserve. We're still waiting for the fourth official, who's just adjusting his board there now to indicate.
Is it the electronic one, Dominic?
No, it's not. He
The
hasn't got
club's
the
bought
electronic
a
one.
brand new electronic substitution board. Doesn't look like it's being used, so the manual process will have to do tonight. It's well and
Referee
truly
calling
90
there for a free
minutes.
kick there on Barfrosh, but nothing doing. He got up on his feet pretty quickly, so referee not calling the free kick there. As the Zebras seem to come out of it there. Simuoi with it. Barfrosh now turns, comes back in with it. Barfrosh comes off a Northcote player and goes out for another throw in for the Zebras. So we're still waiting for the fourth official to put the board up. I still haven't seen it come up. We are well and truly into stoppage time here now.
I'd be surprised if it's any more than 2 or 3 minutes, Dominic.
So Simuoi with the throw in for the Zebras. Goes long, looking for the head of Watson, I think it was. Barfrosh going in with the leading elbow, I think it was, and unfortunately didn't look too malicious, I don't think. I think it was more just a challenge for the ball, but he had his arm sort of swinging a little bit there, and the Northcote player...
Nothing rash.
No,
Wide
definitely
at this
not.
time. Nothing rash.
As the free kick's
Organisation,
taken.
concentration, the key words.
Long one over the top. Comes off the head there, Fraser, and they've got one back.
And we blocked
Unfortunately, they've got one back there,
we
Northcote.
blocked the copybook.
So goal scorer number 9, James Wilson.
Goal Northcote City, goal scorer number 9, James Wilson. Moreland Zebras 3, Northcote City 1.
So late consolation goal here for Northcote. As the Zebras now just under a little bit of pressure. Sadler goes over the top. Cardamone again on the end of that one. Can't control it though. Still in possession, Northcote. Still pushing forward.
I'll tell you what, there's no sign of the fourth official's time.
I think we've possibly missed it, Joe. He may have put it up without us seeing it, because we're well and truly into stoppage time here. As the flick comes through. Now Devitt comes out with it. Can't find Watson though. Zebras not hitting the targets the last few minutes here now. And Northcote getting that late goal. Sort of looking with the bit more of the ascendancy here. But Williams comes across, and there it is, the final whistle. It's all over here at CB Smith Reserve. It's the Moreland Zebras 3, Northcote 1.
Final score at Marvellous Moreland, CB Smith Stadium. Moreland Zebras 3, Northcote City 1.
That's fine. No, I can turn it off. Thanks for tuning in tonight. The Zebras who take the 3 points with a convincing 3-1 win over their East rivals in Northcote City. My name's Dominic Montesano. I'd like to thank Joe Sala for joining me in the commentary box tonight. Joe, thank you for your comments.
My pleasure, Dominic. Pleasure of always.
Go down and enjoy the win with the boys in the rooms from us here at CB Smith Reserve. All wrapped up for the Zebras in the 3-1 victory. Thank you for coming in, for listening tonight, and we'll catch you at our next home game in the next few weeks. So well done to the Zebras. Alex, our technical director, thank you very much for everything, mate, and we'll see you next time.